I'm Melanie Johnson along with my co-host Jenn Foster. We are both 13-time best-selling authors. We've published over 2,500 books and made all of our authors #1 bestsellers. We own Elite Online Publishing. If you want to become a best-selling author, look us up at eliteonlinepublishing.com. Now, welcome to the podcast that shares secrets from top industry experts that show you how to get lasting success and results. This is the Elite Expert Insider Podcast. Hello and welcome back to our fabulous show. This is Melanie Johnson along with Jenn Foster. Hey, Jenn.
Hey, everyone.
All right. Well, we have another fantastic show for you today. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And you're going to want to share this one. If you're a business owner, wanting to be a business owner, we have Derrick Butler in the house today. And he has started the Uber of haircuts and hairstyling, where people come to your house. And doesn't everyone need that now, right? And if you're busy, I'm with him. You keep changing your appointment. Anyways, he started this great business that we're going to learn more about. But he is going to teach us the three ingredients, the three magic ingredients if you're going to start your own company. So I can't wait to hear this. Welcome, Derrick. Thanks for coming today.
Hey, thanks for having me, both Jenn and Melanie. It's a pleasure to be with Elite Online Publishing. Thanks for having me today. I'm looking forward to the discussion.
Awesome. Well, Derrick, tell us a little bit about your background and where you came from and how you started this amazing app.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm actually a third generation entrepreneur. I actually got into entrepreneurship very, very young. I saw my grandfather and my mother have their own companies, and I knew that entrepreneurship was going to be my life. So I got into corporate America and kind of licked my chops and got very proficient in sales and marketing and management. Got my bachelor's and my MBA. And then decided that, hey, I want to start my own company, and went through an experience myself of having a very difficult time scheduling and being to stay on connecting to my normal barber or my hair provider. And everything came to a head one Friday night. I was working late, like many busy professionals, probably like Melanie, like you and Jenn, and having to reconnect and try. And finally, there was no luck. And so that particular weekend, I was literally flying out the next morning at 8 a.m. to get to Vegas to attend a wedding. So it was a big deal, right? Wound up going to Vegas, having no luck, checking into the MGM Grand and them having no service for me, and wound up going to someplace local after calling and having the worst experience of my life. In fact, there's still pictures to show what terrible job that person did on that day. And I knew, that was a problem in the marketplace, and I was going to be the one to solve it.
I love that, because you took a problem that you had and then turned it into something that's awesome, right? And something that everyone needs. So talk a little bit about that journey from, you said you originally started the app for hotels, but then now what happened last year, kind of walk us through how that's evolved.
Absolutely. So, last year we were very fortunate to go after some hotels and get some pretty big names. And we were just kind of going down that path. And then COVID happened. And then all of a sudden, our phones start ringing off the hook for in-home services. And originally, like I mentioned, we built this for the traveling professional, the person that was, very busy, the busy professional, hectic life, needed to really own their schedule. But what wound up happening is, and this is kind of critical to where we are today, because Jenn, we started getting calls from one of our clients who's special needs, and he was having a very hard time getting to a brick and mortar. And then we had single moms and single parents call us, and they were like so surprised that we existed. In fact, one mom had 3 boys, and she used to juggle getting them all there to the barbershop at one time. And then we wound up going to her house, and while she was having a cup of coffee and watching TV, we were handling the service. And she was just blown away by that. And then Alicia is another client whose mom was bedridden, and literally they had no way for her to look her best on her birthday. They called us, we showed up at the house, provided service. And then all of a sudden, here's this mom that was bedridden that now can enjoy her birthday. And those clients, I'm happy to say, are still our clients today.
Yeah. And I was just going to say, it makes such a difference how you feel, like when you get a haircut, when
it
you
really
get a shave
does.
or whatever, like when you leave the salon, or now when your service provider leaves your house and you have that fresh new haircut, it just feels so good. Like you
There's just
feel like a
something
new
about
person.
that. And I say it all the time. It's like my person brought me back to me, because when you're looking, you're feeling your best. It's like that's how you're in your power space, right? So it's like
Yeah.
when you're not, you kind of feel that too, right? It's like, oh, I need to go get my hair done and get back to me, because
Yeah.
it's something about that feeling of being your power place that allows you to perform your best and be your best, especially in those critical moments where you have big events where you need to show up and be the person that you need to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, walk us through the three magic ingredients, because to have an idea is one thing, but to execute on it and actually do it is another. So walk us
Absolutely.
through that.
Thanks, Melanie, for that question. I really believe like one of the first things is find your buyer first.
Mm,
So when you really think about it, there's a number of people that come up with this great idea, right? And they're like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to build this app, I'm going to start this company, right? Before they even find a buyer. And so what they're doing is in their own mind, they're thinking, "Ah, I've got this great product, this great idea. I'm gonna spend all this money and bring it to the market before they even have a buyer." So what you have to do is you have to step back and say, hey, I got this great idea, but I'm gonna go talk to some people. I'm gonna go, and I'm not talking friends and family that are gonna be nice to you. I'm
yeah.
talking about go and talk to some people you don't know, and network, and just share the idea. Don't try to hoard it, because I hear people say, I don't want to share my idea, someone's going to steal it. Forget that. Forget that. One thing I learned, if you've got that idea, there's 1,000 of people have got that same idea too. So it's all about the execution, not the idea. And so
Hmm.
what you want to do is get it out there, get the feedback. And if you get pretty decent feedback, then okay, there's some people, I've got some buyers, and ask the hard question. If I was able to build this for you, Melanie, is this something that you would purchase with your own money, that you would trial or take a look at? Because that, if they're willing to spend their own money on it, right? You give them the idea, and now you've got some buyers. Now you've got something to start building for. And then once you've got your buyers, the next step is a MVP, Mary Victor Paul. It's a minimal viable product, right? And this is the other big hang up, because as a solution provider or a business owner, you want all the bells and whistles in the beginning, right? You got all these ideas that how you want it to look and feel and do. But what you really want to do is invest as little money as possible. When I say the word minimal, I mean minimal. I mean, when we launched, honestly, we had a lot of features that the app couldn't do. There was literally buttons that wouldn't work. You know what I mean? Because what we wanted to do is get that feedback in the market and find out if we're onto something here. And
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be perfect. And I think that's the big thing, right? Your MVP does not have to be perfect. You don't need to get stalled by analysis paralysis. The
Yeah.
market will speak. And I think that's a huge thing. The market will speak. And once you launch that product, that minimal product, it's going to feel like hair on fire. I say this all the time, but that's literally how you feel. You're getting a bunch of calls, a bunch of emails, you're getting a whole lot of texts. People are actually pushing the button to buy. As hard as it is, because it's not perfect, they're literally wanting the product and going through challenges because they want to get it. Now, once you got that hair on fire, then you're on to something, right? That is the verification of the idea and the MVP, what we call minimal traction. And so
Mm,
now, okay, if you are really serious about this, now that you've got something, right, you need to build a team around you, which is number three,
yeah.
right? It's very hard for solopreneurs, is what they're called, to get taken seriously and to get funded. So the next step is that magic number three is you got to build a team. And if you are serious and passionate about what you want to do and the things that you want to accomplish, and you're all in, and I really say that word all in, then you will attract like-minded people, people that see what you're doing, people that want to get in on your vision, and they want to help you execute. And one of the things that I always say is that you can't do it alone. No one has. No one's done it alone. You're gonna need help. And so one of the next big things is being able to build that team so together you can execute and achieve that dream or what you want to accomplish in the marketplace.
I love that because a lot of times entrepreneurs think, oh my gosh, I just have to do everything by myself. And I
No.
don't have money, so I have to do everything by myself. And that's not how it is. You have to build that team. And that team might not be a business partner or a employee. The team might be a mentor
It sure could.
or an investor, or there's all different types
Absolutely.
of team members.
Absolutely. You're going to have and it's so important to have that and I say the word tribe, to have that tribe mentality. Like, I've got to build a tribe, a community to help me accomplish this. And they're going to see things I don't see. They're going to fill in the weaknesses because believe me, everyone's got weaknesses, right? So they're going to fill in those gaps for those weaknesses that you have, and they're going to help you on those days of being an entrepreneur. We all know about it, where it's tough. It's tough. It's tough days. And I remember, my co-founder, Mario, some days I would just be like so high on Monday and so down on Tuesday, right? It's like this roller coaster. And that helps you out because you can make that call to that mentor, that team member, that advisor, that even that client, that one client that's fanatical about your product or service. That's going to pick you back up and then going to allow you to get into the next day.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. All right, I feel like you have the outline for a book here with all this, and my head is down because I've been writing all this stuff down in my notes. What you're saying, and it reminds me. I've been watching the show, Billionaire Undercover,
Oh, yeah.
and he started that way too. He's like, find the buyer first, is what he said,
Right.
and he's like, all right, I have no money, I've got to sell something, and he went through Craigslist and on the wanted. And this guy wanted used industrial tires.
Oh,
So he
wow.
started going to junkyards and places like that. He said, so I know someone wants these. I have the buyer, like you said. So now I'm going to go out and find the product to fulfill the order. And
Right.
like you did with the need, you said, if I'm having this need, other people are, and you're finding
Absolutely.
that. And so many people don't identify that, and they spend so much money and they don't have that target in place.
Absolutely. It's like you're spending all this, and I always use an analogy, like there was a lot of people that said, build it first and they will come. Well, not these days. Maybe that was with, back in the days where there was only one choice or two choices, right? But now there's so much competition in the marketplace for not just for money, but for time and interest. And so now you've got to literally get input first, then build it. Get input first, then build it. And then once you've got that kind of framework of the kind of the minimal features, and I can't stress enough when I say minimal, then you get that minimal features, go ahead and launch it. Don't wait until it's just the color's wrong. It can't do this or can't do that. It's like, no. Now you got the framework to launch. So launch and don't be afraid to put that out there and see what you get back. Because if you get back great results, and great results don't have to be thousands of people. It's people that are interested in what you have and willing to pay for it, right? That is the key. And then you're like, oh, I'm on to something. Now I can take this to the next level by building a team and then getting the real product out, getting funded, because there's many people that once you got to that step where you got an MVP in the marketplace, you got clients paying for it. Hey, I want to get in on that.
Yeah.
That's where the funding comes.
Then it starts getting a buzz. Yeah. Well, and if it doesn't launch successfully, look at all the things you learn and tweak and move and pivot and make it right.
And then the thing about it is that if it doesn't feel like you're on fire, it didn't launch correctly, or there were some minimal people that want to buy it, like you said, that means, wait a minute, I'm missing something. I need to get more input. I need to tweak something. I need to
Mm.
put out a different type of, it's probably missing just one or two things to get that, what we call traction. And then you just kind of take it from there. But it's important to know that you've got buyers that are calling, hey, when am I gonna get that? When am I gonna get that? Hey, have you finished that yet? That's really good motivation to hear that there's people waiting for you to get your product in the market.
You know, we had a conversation before we started the show too about competitors, like Clubhouse is getting
Oh
really
yeah,
big now. Facebook is getting in on the action, and you said about, well, you're afraid to share your idea that someone else is going to do it, but someone else, you can always piggyback and innovate someone else's idea to make it better or
absolutely,
different, or your spin on it. So there's always room for multiple competitors in a marketplace. Look how many different manufacturers sell different phones. There's something for
absolutely,
everybody. So you can say, oh well, Mac or Apple has the corner on iPhone, so you can't do that. Well, there's the Android. There's everyone's got in the phone business, so there's something for everybody. So don't let that dissuade you, and do your spin on it and make it a little different. Like you say, get that input. So I guarantee you, Facebook is taking all the input from Clubhouse, and they're
yeah.
going to have their spin on it and make it a little different than what's out there right now.
I think one of the big greatest examples is Zoom. Also, Zoom just kind of hit the market, especially with COVID, and then all of a sudden start taking off. And then you notice that Google, it caught Google's attention, and now Google's got a little button in their email, along with other competitors. But they're all existing. They're all
Yes.
moving forward. There's room for all of them in the marketplace. Just how much market share each one gets, but
Mm.
it does, now you've got multiple other products in the marketplace to go along with Zoom. And now that raises Zoom's level too. Like, hey, I want to maintain my marketplace, my market percentage. So all of a sudden, I got to do a little bit better because there's competition. And I think competition raises people up.
I do too.
For sure. Well, let's dive into a little bit of what the app is and what you built here and how it works,
Absolutely.
and what market
Yeah.
you're in right now and where you're expanding to.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So our app is available both in iOS and in Google Store. It's an application that allows people to download the app, to open it up and provide, have access to the different providers that are in their area. So it's geo-targeted, and it's an algorithm that learns as they continue to use the app. So what their preferences are, what type of hairstyle they're doing or looking for, what they're trying to accomplish in regards to their image, and even their time frame, how often they need service. So we've got all that built into one app. It literally feels like, if you've ever used Uber, that you download the app, you see who's in the area, you hit one button, and then next thing you know, someone's showing up at your home, office, or hotel, and everything else is handled in the background. It's important to us that our clients know that we are absolutely COVID focused. So we've taken multiple precautions, both on the provider side and on the client side too, to make sure that the experience is safe, for everyone. And want to let them know that we've got that at top of mind.
And what kind of services do they provide? Haircuts and hairstyles, and what
Yeah,
else?
so we
Like,
do haircuts, hairstyles, men, women, and kids can get service. So we're really a service for the whole family. So we do have barbers, we have hairstylists, we have braiders as well. And so what we're trying to do is have one complete, one company that can provide multiple services to all demographics that need our service, and have it completely on demand.
And I told you, my suggestion was to add mani and pedis in
Yeah,
there.
I've heard that
Manicures,
before.
pedicures.
Manis and petties are on the roadmap.
Good, good, good.
Also, one thing that we'll be adding is color. We get a lot of requests for color as well,
I bet.
and color was our number one requested item last year, and so now part of the roadmap for 2021 is to add color as we expand from the San Francisco Bay Area down to LA and San Diego, and then eastward to New York. So the whole goal is that we'll be in the top areas around the country. And no matter if you're at home, office, or hotel, you can get on-demand service.
All right, so I can't wait for you to move forward, and excited about it. So if you're interested, probably contact Derrick if you'd like to be in the funding part of this, because I mean, he's
Absolutely.
super at the thing. So he sounds like he's in the funding stage to expand nationwide.
Absolutely. We are just exiting our accelerator. We just went through a tech accelerator, Conscious Venture Lab, 16 weeks of grinding, making sure that everything that we could do on the operations, the tech side, the finance side, the corporate side was all in line to be fundable. And now we're exiting our accelerator, and now we're ready to scale.
Wow,
I love it. Well, tell people where they can go to find the app and download it if they're in the California area, and where they can go to get more information about you, or if they want to fund or help with this project.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jen. You can find me, The Real Derrick Butler, on Twitter and IG, and then Krisspi for Life. That's spelled K like Kevin, RISS like Sam, Paul, Ivory. That's how you spell Krisspi. For Life, both on all on IG, Facebook, and Twitter. So please contact us. We'd love to get your feedback as well. And of course, funding and customers are absolutely welcome.
Awesome. We'll put those links up on the show notes, as well as put the link to download the app. And thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor to talk to both of you. And I'm looking forward to the future for both you and for Krisspi.
Thanks. And we'll get a book in the works with that to go with it, so we can tell your story in another way. I think
absolutely. I was telling Jen, I've definitely got a book in me.
Well, and I want to, just to recap, so remember, find your buyer first, make sure minimal on your product first, and get feedback, and then tweak it, and then build your team, and then go from there. So remember to subscribe to our podcast, because we're always giving you innovational, motivational, and educational content here for your life, your business, your home, your relationships. And if you're looking to become an author and becoming a #1 bestseller, because we guarantee it when you work with us, contact us. Just reach out to us on our website and hit that submission form. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Hey, are you looking to increase your revenue, build credibility, and elevate your brand? This podcast is brought to you by Elite Online Publishing, an innovative publishing and full spectrum marketing company. They will publish and market your book to make it a #1 bestseller. Becoming an author is the best way to market your business. So contact them at eliteonlinepublishing.com today. All of their authors become #1 bestsellers.